Thank you, thank you. I flew here, it was 92 degrees yesterday when I flew from South Florida here, so I'm a little bit cold, but that's okay, I'm wearing my beach attire. So, anyway, I want to say it's an honor and a pleasure to speak for the second time. The first time I spoke at this event, it was 7 years ago. And now I'm back 8 books later. And I really appreciate Mary and everyone that's invited me back. But before I start talking about transforming your life through self-care, a guide to tapping into your deep beauty and your inner worth, I want to share a story that my father shared with me when I was 8 years old. And I'm really talking to, right now, the 8-year-olds, the high school students, the academy folks, and I'm talking to across all ages. I was 8 years old. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, where it's cold in March. And I remember as an 8-year-old watching American Bandstand and what's the other one? It's called Soul Train. I was watching that, and I was freezing, looking at the television, and I couldn't figure out why is it the kids had on hot pants and go-go boots and big naturals, because as an 8-year-old, I'm looking outside, there's snow on the ground, but on television, the sun was shining. And I asked my mother, I said, Mom, why are they dressed like that? Now remember, I'm 8 years old. She said, Carolyn, they're in California where the sun is shining bright. And I said, when I grow up, I'm moving to Southern California. And when I turned 18, guess where I moved? To Southern California. So years passed by. As an 18-year-old, I got on as an airline stewardess back in 1975. And I remember my father was a minister, and I sent for a round-trip ticket for my dad for his birthday, which cost $10 round trip for my father to come and visit me. And I thought that was real expensive because I was only making $450 a month, so that was a whole lot of money. So Dad came to California March the 8th. And what happened was, once we got to Redondo Beach, it was 63 degrees there. It was 5 below zero in Colorado. And in Southern California, there was no one at the beach, not a single soul, but Dad and I. Because folks from California thought it was freezing cold, too cold to go outside. But Dad and I, we thought it was a heat wave. So Dad and I, we walked hand in hand, literally in the sand, and we sat there. And Dad said, Carolyn, look at all the seagulls, and the seagulls are flying by, high in the sky. And Dad, being a minister, he said, Carolyn, do you see that pelican flying over there? I said, yes, Dad, that's a beautiful, beautiful pelican. He said, imagine if God gave that pelican only one job to do, and that is to pick up one grain of sand off the beach and fly all the way to the moon and drop that grain of sand off and fly back down to earth and keep doing it back and forth, till there's no more sand on the face of the earth. My dad said, how long do you think it would take that pelican to pick up all and remove all the sand off the face of the earth? And I looked at Dad, I thought that was a trick question, because I said, the pelican can never remove all the sand off the face of the earth. Dad, are you kidding me? And then he looked me directly in my eyes. And it really, I thought, Dad's getting serious here. And Dad was 50 years old, I was 18. And he said, Carolyn, one of these days, I'm not going to be with you. And I said, what do you mean? Well, God's going to call me home to glory. And when that day comes, I want you to think about how long it's going to take the pelican to remove all the sand off the face of the earth. And that's how long my love will be with you. And when Dad told me that story, I said, oh no, Dad, I'm 18. I don't want to talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about the prospect of your death. But then I made a whisper to God. I said, well, God, if anything ever happens to my dad, if. I didn't say when, I said if. Because superheroes, they never die. Do they die? No. My daddy was my superhero. And I promised God, I said, when that day comes, I will be there for my father, period. And then for the next 30 years, Dad and I, we enjoyed father and daughter. But guess what? That day came. It came sudden and unexpectedly. And I became my father's caregiver. That's the story I want to share with you. So I've written 8 books. And the reason why I'm here now, all my books are in libraries worldwide, and I have 4 major publishing companies that publish my work. Why? Because my work is authentic, my work is real. I've been trying to get laws passed to help the caregiver because of things that happened in my life. So I'm going to share true story. This book, actually, I want to let you know, you are the first audience to hear about transforming your life through self-care, a guide to tapping into your deep beauty and your inner work. Why are you the first? Because the book is not going to be out until May the 8th. And the publishers are working on it right now. And guess what? I'm the author, and I know exactly what's in the book. And Mary asked me to do the presentation, so here I am, to give you the first of the first of the first. Libraries, every place. My work is in Harvard, which I'm very proud of. And once you're in Harvard, all the other universities want your work, so they want to copy off Harvard. So what do I mean by transforming your life through self-care? I am the type of person, words have power. Words have meaning. They can ignite or they can deflate. The words people say against us, they really do have power too. But the words we use against ourselves are infinitely more powerful. Wouldn't you agree? So I'm going to break this title down so we're all on the same page. Transforming. When I hear the word transforming, you can either transform to get better or you could transform to do nothing. When you transform, it's when you have an epiphany. That's that aha moment that you've been thinking about, well, how can I do this? How can I do that? You'll have an aha moment. And that aha moment, if you walk into it, it's a life-defining moment that will change your life forever. Does anybody in here have something in their heart that they want to do, or one goal? Just raise your hand. You have one goal. Nobody has a goal? Oh, we have a few people with the goal. How many people have 2 goals? How many people have, oh, there's someone with 10 goals back there. Oh my goodness. It's always rewarding to have a goal. But if you don't walk into it, step into it, guess what? It just becomes a dream. And dreams will come true if you act on it. And that's what I am here today to show you how to act. Self-care. Self-care can mean several things. A lot of people say, well, Carolyn, I don't want to do self-care because that means I'm selfish. No, it does not. Self-care means that you care enough about yourself to take care of you and love yourself. Because if you cannot love yourself, how can you take care and love someone else? I mean, it's hand in hand. I've been in a relationship before where I loved that person, but the person didn't love me back. So guess what? I had to kick that person to the curb because I love me. That's how it happens. A guide. Everything that I'm going to share with you is vetted. Attorneys have looked at it, healthcare professionals, you name it, a person with everything I talk about. Financial analysts, because I talk about finances, that's part of self-care too. It's the inner and outer beauty, self-care. Deep beauty. How do you tap into your deep beauty? When I talk about deep beauty, I'm talking about the inner beauty, that wisdom, that knowledge, that grace. I'm talking about, that's what deep, deep beauty is. Think about a 90-year-old that have that deep beauty that's radiating outside of their body because they have that deep beauty to draw you in. That's what we're going to talk about, deep beauty. And I wore this beach cover up for a reason. First of all, this is my brand. It's trying to fall off. But secondly, I compete in women's bodybuilding and figure. So I decided, I said, well, I'm not going to show them this beautiful body, beauty, not now. When we talk about nutrition and health, then I'll take this off. But I want to tell you, everything I do is strategic for a reason. That's the deep beauty. Then, you know, a guy, how many of you have ever been on any vacation? Okay. Well, the way you do a vacation, from my understanding, you look at a map or you look at something that is a guide to tell you what to do and how to get there. With my work and what we're doing in this workshop today is that I could share with you the map, but unless you open it up and get off the couch if you're going on a trip, you'll never experience that beautiful trip. It's the same thing when it comes to self-care and deep beauty. You have to get up and do it. You can think about it, you can talk about it, but unless you get up, it's only basically a guide. So you have to take the information that I'm giving you, firsthand experience, and use that as your guide. Okay, we must become an authority of self. We've got to be an authority. So let me break the word down, authority. Authority comes in two forms. A person could be an authority, an expert of 18th century quotes. Or they could be an authority of music, of Bruce Springsteen's music. Or another authority is giving a command, like the President of the United States, or the President of a company, or Mary, she's the President of Healings in Motion. Give a command, we do it. That's authority. But imagine being authority on you. How many of you ever stop to think that you have the authority to be well, the authority to feel good, the authority to know what makes your soul feels right, the authority? Take back your authority. If you've given it in a bad relationship, if you've given it to a boss that don't like you, if you've given it to your kids that's giving you trouble, take back your authority and start putting the authority in yourself and take care of yourself, because I'm going to share one thing. I was a 12-year caregiver for my father. I couldn't get anyone in my family to help me with my dad, not one person. And as soon as my dad had a sudden and unexpected, life-threatening thing to happen to him, I found myself in probate court with not one restraining order, not two restraining orders, but 3 restraining orders back to back. Because anytime some family members, if they're nefarious, if they think that there's money to be had, that can happen to anyone. And I thought I was going to lose my mind. And I want to show you what keeps me going. Matter of fact, when my father died, I was never even told that he was buried until 2 weeks later. So when I say that I have some things to share with you, and I made it through, I'm sharing it with you for a reason, because it's the pelican. When I think about my father, I think that his love is going to be with me forever. Why? Because he said it. He said, one grain of sand, however long it takes that pelican. So guess what? My daddy's still alive in me. Okay? He's still alive. That's how I do it. That's what I do. So I take daddy with me every place I go. But let me first share with you what I had to do to get there. I had to learn the formula, or make up a formula. I had to use fierce determination. Now think about this, and hold on to this. I never was told my father was buried until 2 weeks later, after he was interned. Can you imagine how devastating that was for me mentally? I worked for a company where I made high 6-figure income. That didn't matter to me anymore. So I had to learn how to focus and be determined. I had to be laser focused. I'm talking about laser focused. I've never written a book before, but why are my books in Harvard and they're teaching it? I was laser focused with fierce determination. And when you have fierce determination, there's nothing you cannot accomplish. Nothing. Then I had to have, with action, you got to put action if you want to do something. Whatever it is, if you want to lose weight, if you want to write a book, if you want to be an expert at whatever, you got to put in action because nobody's going to give it to you. And because I was a caregiver for 12 years, I could say this and say it with authority. I don't want to end up in a nursing home. Nope, not for me. So I take care of myself. I'll be 62 years old, January 6th, and I got to tell you, I have some guns underneath this outfit. Because I'm taking care of me. And you have to have bottomless discipline. I'm talking about bottomless discipline. Think about the athletes when they go to the Olympics. When they fall, they get right back up. When they scratch and fall down, they just go, okay, I got to start all over again. I broke my toe thinking it was just a sprain. Have you ever sprung your toe and you just kind of go, oh, okay, that hurt. But me with my determined self, I broke my toe. I didn't realize it until the doctor told me I broke my 5th metatarsal in 5 places and told me I could not work for 4 months. I looked at the doctor like, wait a second, you can't be talking to me. I got to go to work because my daddy's private assisted living was $6,500 a month. And guess what? That is not free. Or better yet, that ain't free. So my family thought the money was coming from someplace. It was coming straight from my pocket. Once again, I made a high 6-figure income as a clinical education manager to take care of my dad. And the deep beauty is deep within your soul. You can't buy deep beauty. It comes deep from within your soul. It's that gut. That's where that deep beauty comes from. I don't care what a person looks like on the outside. If they don't have that deep beauty, guess what? They could be pretty but ugly. That doesn't make them deep beauty. And your inner worth. I'm going to ask you, what are you worth? And I have to tell you, when God created us, He made us all so beautifully different. And because we are different, you can't put a price tag on you. You're priceless. So because you have this priceless, fabulous, beautiful body, and you're healthy, and you young folks, I'm talking to you too, that's when you want to take care of yourself. And I literally volunteer at the bodybuilding competitions. I don't compete anymore. I'm a volunteer, which simply means in order to volunteer to pass out trophies to the winners, you had to have won first place in your category. So I volunteer because it keeps me like in shape, because I want to be in shape. But most importantly, I want to help teach people when they're young. You've got to take care of your body and don't start when you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Although you can start any time, but the younger, the better, the younger. So do I have a 12-year-old in here? Anybody 12? Oh, we do. There's a 12-year-old. I got to tell you, my father started running around City Park in Denver, Colorado, and I kept running behind him. I was 12. I said, Daddy, why are you running? He said, because sickness can't catch up with me if I keep running. So guess what? I've been running ever since. Now I'm almost 62. So start running early. This is my dad. This picture was taken December 25th, 2006. That was the last Christmas I ever shared with my father. When dreams come crashing down. Now remember, I had a fabulous income. I bought my beautiful American dream home. I was a clinical education manager and had status on my job. They paid for my MBA. And then I got a phone call from my dad when Dad said, Carolyn, I need you. And what I did, I stepped down from the position I had to be a representative to take care of my father. Then Dad moved to Florida. When Dad asked me to pick him up, he was living in Lamar, Colorado. I was living in California, and he asked me, can you come pick me up? Like he's down the street and around the corner. But what I did, I knew Dad really needed me. So I canceled my trip that I was supposed to go on for my company, and I went and I got my daddy. But I was in denial when the doctor told me, your dad has dementia. I didn't believe the doctor. I thought the doctor was, no, my dad doesn't have dementia. And then he said, thank God you're his caregiver. Oh, no, I'm not my daddy's caregiver. These superheroes don't need caregivers. So I was still in denial. And then after Dad lived with me for about 6 months, Dad got in his car, and I didn't see him for 24 hours because he thought I was living in Stockton at the time, and Dad drove to Yuba City looking for my house. And that's how many miles? 100 and some odd miles? And talking about being scared to death. I prayed. I said, dear God, give me back my father. I promise, I promise, I promise, I promise. I will take away the keys. And I did that. Then I share it with you. I broke my toe. But the real part when things started really crumbling down was when my family was dragging me through court. I had heart problems. I just said, dear God, why am I here? I was mad at God. I was mad at my father for getting sick. I was in my own pity party that I created. So I took myself straight to the hospital to check myself in because I thought I was having a heart attack. And they took me in, and guess what? The doctor said, Miss Brent, you're having a panic attack. Because when you hear from a relative, a distant relative, that your loved one was buried, as much as I loved my dad and I took care of him for 12 years, do you know how I had to get myself out of that funk? My father's voice came to me while I was at the hospital in that bed. He said, Carolyn, you know I taught you better than that. You got to pour into yourself what you poured into me. And that's when I had my aha moment, my life-defining moment. That's when I became an advocate and going to legislations, trying to get laws passed. And Mary went with me. Thank you, Mary, wherever she is. But she accompanied me on one of my legislations when I was speaking to the legislation, the Board of Aging. And I share my story, as horrible as it is. But guess what? Everybody has some kind of story. Nobody gets out of this life unscathed. But it's what do you do with it? So I took all that pain, and I finally listened to my orthopedic surgeon. My orthopedic surgeon told me, because I was walking around with a limp foot, and I didn't listen. He told me, Carolyn, you need to go see a psychologist, my psychologist. I said, why? No, I don't want to go. He said, no, you're going to have chronic back pain for the rest of your life because of what you didn't do. I wasn't compliant. I worked with a broken foot because I had to pay the payments, although there's Family Medical Leave Act. But my company, wink, wink, if you take off, you still are responsible for your sales figures. So guess what? I worked because I was afraid. If they did that now, guess what I would do? No, I take care of me now because now I suffer. I could suffer, but I manage my pain through a lot of different natural ways. And I don't put up with no stinking, thinking people ever. That's the first to go. They got to go. And what keeps me going is giving back, helping others. That's why I write. So my doctor told me to see a psychologist, and I did. That was the first time in my life, first time that I was compliant when someone told me to do something to take care of me. That changed my life forever. Why do we resist self-care? Why do we do it? Can anyone tell me why we resist it? Well, I'm going to tell you I talked to thousands of caregivers worldwide. I have my own TV show on ABC called Across All Ages, which is going back on the air once this book called Transforming Your Life to self-care, a guide to tapping into your deep beauty. I'll be back in the air. But this is what caregivers told me. I don't have time. That's what they told me. And guess what? Caregivers actually believe they don't have time. I agree. But you know what you do? I'm going to tell you how. Or they'll say, you know, I just have bad genes. It's in my DNA. I'm fat. My mama was fat. My daddy was fat. My sister was fat. Everybody's fat. Or everyone in my family has high cholesterol or Alzheimer's. Why should I try? Why should I try? Because it's in my DNA. Or they'll say, well, I'm too afraid. I don't want to know what's wrong with me. No, I'm not going to go to the doctor because I don't want to hear what the doctor has to say. So guess what? They won't go. And then another one caregivers would say, I don't think I'm worth it. And I tell you, it makes me want to write more. So guess what? You do have time. They actually believe that they don't have time. You do have time. Get up just a little bit earlier, because that's what I did when I was a caregiver. I was never overweight as a caregiver. I had other issues I was dealing with, but I was never overweight because I learned at the age of 12, running after my daddy at City Park, that I did not want, sickness to catch me. So I still, to this day, I take care of me. I was up this morning at 3 a.m. your time, but it was 6 my time. So I was up. And I worked out because it makes your body will crave it when you do it. Self-care. You have to reclaim. I'm talking about you got to reclaim it. Reclaim your health and you know your why. Why do you want to be healthy? Perhaps you have grandchildren. Perhaps you have loved ones that love you, that you don't want them to try to take care of you. Perhaps you're getting married. Perhaps you've fallen in love. People do their self-care. Think about it when there's an occasion. Like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds because I'm getting married next week. So these ladies, they lose the weight to get in that white wedding dress for that one day, one night, and then boom. But you got to make it a lifestyle. You got to be committed. And I'm going to show you some folks. Throughout my work, throughout my book, I help people. That's what I do, and they help me. It's like we're helping each other. So let me share with you. These are two people, transformational people. I got to share their stories. The first lady, she's a fitness fire starter. She actually is my editor. The most brilliant editor. I have about 25 editors. Before a book goes into the library, trust me, there's a whole lot of hands that touch it. But Kathy touches everything. She's the first person that corrects my mistakes. Kathy has lost over 1,000 pounds over a 50-year period. But Kathy has never been able to keep any of that weight off. After 30 days, guess she'll lose about 50 pounds. And 30 days, at that 30-day mark, guess what? She's put that weight back on and doubled it. And then after Kathy worked with me on my project, she had her transformation moment. She said, Carolyn, I'm 65 years old, and after helping you with your book, I have grandkids. I have great-grandkids. I don't want them to have to take care of me. Plus, I don't have insurance. Carolyn, I'm ready. And I said, Kathy, you really ready? And I said, why are you ready? And she told me again, the grandkids. She started reevaluating her life. And then I asked her, well, why do you put the weight back on? She said, well, I never knew why. I put myself on a diet, and then I would get sick of the diet, I'd reach my goal, and then I go back to my old habits. I said, oh, but you're not going to go on a diet with me. You're just going to go on a modification, lifestyle change. And guess what? Kathy, right now, we blog every week, so you guys can join us at caregiverstory.com. I can give you that information and listen to her blog. She's lost about 50 pounds already. So we just started like 11 weeks ago. Then, and this is what she told me, and I'll tell you how she's lost the weight a little bit later. She said, Carolyn, I never knew what feeling good felt like. Because I was teaching Kathy how you eat for your blood type and you eat for your body type. And a lot of people go on these fad diets because Sally Sue, John Doe, and you name it, would say, well, try this diet. But remember, we are uniquely created. Every diet is not one diet fits all. Everybody has to have a different diet. The next person is Cherise. She's a bodybuilder bikini. What I love about her inspirational story, she lost 100 pounds. It took her three years to do it, but she decided to go into bodybuilding. And let me tell you what's beautiful about bodybuilding. Bodybuilders are the most disciplined human beings I've ever met. Because when you put yourself in a position that you are going to be judged, you're literally judged by 10 people looking at your body, and you're turning, and you're doing all this stuff, you've got to tell yourself, I have to do it for me. I've got to give myself the best. You don't want to get on stage and be flabby. So I learned, what do they eat? How do they discipline themselves? And I did it the natural way. So what she did, she lost 100 pounds in a 3-year period. And you see her this January, and this is what she looked like in September. So you're talking about 9 months later. Because having a made-up mind. So this is what I want to ask you guys to do with me really quick. Just repeat after me. I can.
I can.
We can.
We can.
Okay, let's do it again. I can.
I can.
We can.
We can.
That, you know what? I think you guys are a little bit on the lazy side. Can you tell me that like you mean it? Oh, okay, hold on, I have a volunteer. So she's going to lead the pack. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. She's going to, you have to lead the pack. I have a volunteer, and I thank you because she's you. Okay. Now let's do it together. I can. We can.
We can.
Let's do it one more time. I can. We can. Yes, we can do it. Thank you. That was some good exercise. Thank you. Thank you, volunteer. I have something special for you. Okay. So, now, super agers. Do we have anyone 90 in the room? Okay, do we have an 80-year-old? Oh, okay, she just volunteered to come up. Oh, wait. Whoops. Come on. So the 81-year-old, I'm so excited. You know what? I want to give you a hug. Oh, thank you.
See that one right there? Well, he's my twin. She's 81.
Oh, you must give them a drawing applause. Now, I call this super agers. These are super agers. They're out. They are getting involved. Can you share with folks, what do you do to stay healthy?
I try to stay off certain greasy foods.
Okay, we're going to talk about greasy food. Thank you, because I was going to talk about some fried chicken in about 5 minutes. Okay, greasy foods, what else do you do?
I don't know. It's really kind of hard because there's so many things.
Isn't that beautiful? Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. Yeah, so let's get excited. This 80-year-old, she just turned 81 last week. So
82 in April.
you're going to be 82 in April? Oh, let's sing happy birthday to her. Okay, I'm ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay. I'm getting just too excited. Boy. Woo. Well, this person here, holding the dog, she was 80 years old when I took her picture. Now, she's a super ager. And super agers, this is what Harvard University. They have the longest study, an 80-year-old study that they do every year for 80 years. It's the longest study in medicine history. They follow people that are 90 and above. Some of them are 80, and they are finding out what do they eat, what are their social activities, what do they do, and I got to tell you, superagers have fun. Goldine, she turned 81 last month, and she invited me to her birthday party, which was a mistake. I made a mistake. I cannot hang out with the superagers. They drink too much. So they drink way too much. I had fun with her, but this is what Goldine did. On her 80th birthday, she set a goal. She said, Carolyn, I've had beautiful clothes in my closet for the past 20 years, and I told myself for my 80th birthday I wanted to lose 20 pounds. And you see how good Goldine looks? She looks super fantastic. And the superagers are positive. They love being around lots of people. They're like the life of the party. But trust me, on Goldine's 82nd birthday, I'll be there, but next time I'm just not going to try to drink and catch up with them. That's what I need to do. The other person, and these are people in my book, the other person is Jose. Jose is permanently in a wheelchair. He lives his life in a wheelchair. And I interviewed Jose because Jose wrote a book called Don't Let Your Disabilities Be Your Standard, which really caught my attention. I said, why did you write the book? He said, because people look at me, Carolyn, because I'm in a wheelchair, and they think I'm disabled. But I don't focus on my disabilities, I focus on my abilities. So he writes books, and he lectures across the country. The dude is heavy. He's one of those spiritual people that the twinkle comes out of his eyes and you're drawn to Jose. And I got to tell you, this guy said, well, how do you exercise? I thought, now he's going to give me something really interesting. He says, Carolyn, my wheelchair has an apparatus that lifts my leg and moves my head and moves my torso. I am ready. I will not let nothing stop me. He said, there's a lot of people that are blocked because of what's going on up here. They tell themselves, I can't. They tell themselves, I'm too old. They tell themselves, I don't want to. But he says, your words are powerful. The tongue, I got to tell you something about that tongue. The tongue can be your worst enemy. This little tongue has so much power. And in my book, I talk about how do you tame your tongue. When you're trying to lose weight, your tongue's going to say, just one more bite of that pie. Never mind, eat the whole thing. The tongue, because the taste buds wants more. Or I left my one of my husbands, I can't remember which one. But he betrayed our marriage vows. This is in my book too, but it's too juicy to say in public, but it's in the book, you can read it. And I almost bit my tongue off because I did not want to say something I would regret. So the tongue, it could be nefarious, or the tongue can speak power and love. And I choose to speak power and love with the tongue. So that's Jose. Give Jose a round of applause. And also Goldine. They're my super agents. Okay, now we have some more. Who wants to help me with this? I have a made-up mind. We're going to do this together. I have a made-up mind. I am my own caregiver advocate. God gave me authority. I can, we can. Uh-oh, she's back. Okay. I gotta get my partner back. She. Okay, come on. This time you gotta. Okay. Now you gotta motivate that side. I'll motivate this side. We all gotta do this together. Okay. We gotta get this right. Okay. Are we ready? I have made up mine. I am my own caregiver advocate. Okay, hold on. I got another helper. Come here. Okay, I have another helper. All my helpers, thank you for helping. Okay, thank you. You get on stage, and I want you to read the God gave me authority. Okay, God gave me, go on.
God gave me authority.
Oh, I'm more than that.
I can, we can.
Okay, now we're going to do I can, we can one more time. And can you please say it like you mean it?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Listen.
I can, we can. I can, we can.
Okay, so who's the caregiver that's going to take care of themselves? Who's their own caregiver advocate?
Me.
I can't hear you.
Me.
Woo! Okay, give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. Okay. Woo! I got to tell you, this is all you have to do. Now we're going to get to the juicy part. Let me take I'm going to take this off. I will take this off. We'll get to the juicy part. Remember, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm a figure over 60 women's champion. I won that award at the age of 60, and I write about health, wellness, and please excuse the black thing is my microphone, but now I get to share this I can, we can body with you. Okay. I can, we can!
I can, we can.
Okay. This is the way you get started. You have to read, write, recite, and review. You got to read about your own body, and I'm going to tell you how to get there. You have to write about it. You've got to do it. I can't do it. You have to do it. Then you have to review. If you keep coughing, there's a reason why you're coughing. If your stomach, for an example, if you eat a pizza and your stomach swells up, your stomach's telling you something. What is your stomach telling you? It's what? All kind of things. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry? Oh, diabetes, okay. You know, we have some real smart people in this room. I'm loving it. Then fitness. Fitness is key. There are numerous studies worldwide about how you can avoid disease if you take the time to do fitness. Try at least, and this is what I share with folks. My goal for you, if you could give yourself just 1 hour per day. Can you just give yourself 1 hour per day?
We can.
Oh, someone said we can. Oh,
We can.
okay, that's good. Now let me share with you what that's going to do. It's going to keep you out of the hospital. It's going to keep your bones healthy. It's going to keep you in shape when you're almost 62. I think I'm in pretty good shape for a 62-year-old. I work at it though. Nobody gives me anything. And then people have told me, Carolyn, it's your DNA. Let me share with you my DNA. My mother died at the age of 63 from complications of diabetes and myocardial infarction, which is heart attack. Then I had 2 brothers to die before the age of 54 and 53. And they were just a few years older than me. Then my baby sister died a few years ago at the age of 49. That's the kind of DNA I have. And because I know my DNA, I tell myself, Carolyn, do your part. Do your part. So I had to learn the hard way to do my part, and I'm going to show you. Oh, bottomless discipline. Can anyone tell me what bottomless discipline means? Oh, okay, come on. We have someone that wants, you're going to have to just stay on stage with me. Okay, bottomless discipline. Okay, let's give her a hand. Okay. What is bottomless discipline?
Bottomless discipline is when you discipline yourself to no matter what no matter what is in the way that you'll discipline, like you'll keep doing it.
Over and over and over and over. When you fall, get back up. Over and over. Can we say this together? Over and over and over and over and over. Again and again and again. That's bottomless. Thank you. Let's give her a hand. Beyonce, thank you. Certainly good, I'm going to call you back. Thank you. Yeah, Beyonce, I think maybe Beyonce wants to get back on stage with me, so she's going to keep my seat warm. But the key thing, you have to have bottomless discipline, regardless of what you go through. Now, keep in mind, I never knew that my daddy had died. So you know I had to discipline my mind. And when my Father's Spirit came to me when I was in that hospital bed, I've been on the battlefield to change the laws and to help people. So guess what? I can't help you if I couldn't help me. Am I right about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody would ever know what I've been through. But I share my story for a reason, because that's my purpose that my soul has defined me to do. That's why I do what I do. Okay, now we're going to talk about the gut. We're going to talk about why you got to listen to your gut. When I used to be a clinical education manager, the pharmaceutical company sent me away for 4 weeks of training, and they literally fed us fabulous food. It was like being on a cruise ship. But every day I experienced my stomach was swollen. I felt like I wanted to throw up, and I just did not feel good. And the nurse said, Carolyn, just eat the lettuce and just eat some soup. And I would do that, and my stomach would swell up even more. She said, and she gave me a Pepsid AD and told me you should feel better, but I never did. So I called my doctor from New Jersey to California. I said, something's wrong with me. I don't know if I have a parasite or what's going on. So what they did, 4 weeks later, I saw my doctor. They scoped my gut to see what was going on. And guess what was wrong with me? Can anyone guess? No? The doctor told me I was highly allergic to pesticides, nitrates, sulfite, preservative, hormones, dyes, GMOs. The food I was eating, my body, my antibodies, took it as poison. Your antibodies fight disease and poison in your body. And I went, oh my God, I didn't know that. So then I started eating foods that wasn't laced with all this stuff. 40% of the food in the grocery store has all of that in it. And I knew if I wanted to save me, because there's nothing worse than a gut ache. I don't even want to call it a tummy ache. I call it a gut ache. You have flatulence, you're bloated, you burp. It's just a mess. And I did not know what to do except for change my diet. Then, the next thing I did, I had to do meal planning. How do you plan a meal? This is the way, I'm just going to take you to a shortcut. The way bodybuilders plan their meals, they plan for 2 weeks out. On a Sunday, I prep all my food, and I allow myself 4 ounces of different things that's right for my blood type. And I'm going to talk about blood type too. And when you plan your meals, you're not going to run to McDonald's and think, and this is true, McDonald's hamburger, this is all on internet now, so I'm probably not sharing something that you don't already know. But one doctor, Dr. Amy Lee, she's a gastroenterologist down in Southern California. We had one of her patients to eat McDonald's for a week. It just literally ruined the bacteria in his gut. Also, there has been clinical studies to show how long a McDonald's hamburger could actually stay in the refrigerator. A year. A year. And can you imagine eating something like that and it's in your gut, and then we wonder why our guts are out to here? We wonder why. It's because the food is still there. It's not going anyplace. When John Wayne passed away, died, he had 30 pounds worth of fecal matter in his gut. So that's a whole lot of weight that you could lose just by eating the right foods. So planning. Also, when you plan, how am I on time? Can someone tell me? Because I'll oh.
It's 11, ma'am.
Oh, let me just run through this really quick. Thank you very much. She said it's 11 o'clock. Where did that hour go? That's all I got to say. Okay, eat for your blood type. Let me share with you why. My cardiologist in San Francisco, because I'm so allergic to things, I checked myself into a vegan institute because I said, well, I just want to be vegan. So I became a vegan for a week. They told us, you're going to get tired, sluggish. I didn't care. I just wanted to get rid of the bloating. But it caused another problem with me to become a vegan. I became hypotension. My blood pressure was so low, I took myself off my water pills. And why did I do that? Literally, I went to my cardiologist 2 weeks later because I just had it was just a normal visit that I had. And she said, Carolyn, what have you done differently in your diet or your weight? And I said, oh, I turned myself into a vegan. I was proud. I turned myself into a vegan. And by the way, my blood pressure has dropped to a hypotension state, so I took myself off my water pills, doctor. She immediately hooked me up to an EKG, and guess what happened to me? My heart had enlarged. I was killing myself and didn't know it. And my doctor said, you got to eat for your blood type, Carolyn. You're eating for an A blood type. You're O. And guess what? I got the book, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I started eating for O positive, that's what I am. It changed my life forever. Literally changed my life. So I share with you, eat for your blood type. If you don't know your blood type, ask your doctor. It will change your life. Okay, portion control. Notice this is like a fist size. That's how much food you should consume at one time. I eat 5 meals or 6 meals a day, but that's the portion size I eat. I eat very slowly. It's just something you learn to do. It's not something that you do overnight. There's 30 foods that I've listed in my book that you should always stay away from because it's high in cholesterol, high in saturated fat, high in everything else as far as the salts. And one thing is bacon. A lot of people like bacon. They call that poison foods, but I have a list of 30 foods to stay away from, which you can come to me later and I'll tell you, because I know we're leaving time. When you exercise, you got to exercise for your body type. Most people don't know there are body types. There's an endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph. Ectomorph is your runners and your sprinters. They're tall and they're lean. It's hard for them to build muscle. So they have to eat and exercise for their body type if they want to build muscle without losing weight. Then there's a mesomorph. I'm a mesomorph. I could gain weight easily or lose it easily, but those are your bodybuilder types that you gain muscle very quick. Do you guys see my arms? I gain muscle really quick, but I eat for my body type to get this. That's what I do. And an endomorph is a person that's a little stocky, heavy around the waist. There's exercises to do to lose weight quickly when you eat for your body type and exercise for your body type. That's in my book as well. Stress. I got to tell you, this has been really stressful the past couple of years. I'm not going to say why, but we know, wink, wink, what's been going on. How do we deal with stress? The first thing I did, I unplugged my television. And guess what? I started saving money on cable bills because I don't have a TV. My TV's, I literally got rid of it, which saved me $110 a month. So I don't invite stress in my home. You have to, don't look at stress as being normal. Please don't. Some people, when they're gifted with a blessing, they'll go, I better hurry up and enjoy this because I know it's not going to last forever. I have 5 minutes? Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, good. I'm going to rush through this, but that's okay. I have 10 minutes. Then you have to create a mindset to change. I do not allow stressful things in my life. If stress comes, I deal with it. If a person calls me up with gossip, I don't deal with gossip. I don't want it. So guess what? They don't call me with gossip and frivolous things that don't mean anything. Call me up with some meat. Tell me something good. Tell me something that's going to feed my soul. So you have the power to select the people you want to be around. And I have to tell you, all of you, if you want to exercise, there's free exercise groups. They're called meetup groups. Whatever thing you want to do, you can do free yoga, free walking. There's meetup groups. There's something for everybody, regardless of how much money you have or what you don't have. The only thing you have to do is Google it. It's there. Okay, then you have to discover your rainbow. Remember the story about my father? The rainbow is now, one day laws will be changed. Also, my work is being studied and taught by university professors worldwide. That's the rainbow. I took that horrible situation. I did not let it kill me. If anything, it ignited the fire in my soul to make a difference. So whatever troubling you, let that ignite the fire in you to create whatever change you need. Can I get an amen on that? Amen. Okay. Incorporate meditation. I'm going to just speed through these slides because everyone's ready to go. I know you guys are hungry, so we'll eat. But there's like 27 different types of meditation. Literally. Meditation, you have to incorporate that into your life. I go into detail in my work. How do you meditate? How do you choose a meditation? Mindful meditation or a guided meditation, sound meditation. There's meditation here if you guys want to check it out. Meditation, I meditate every single day. Sometimes I'll meditate in the shower. Sometimes I'll walk to the beach and meditate. But meditation is a part of my life. It's me and the Holy Spirit that work together for the good. That's what meditation, all my work was meditated through me. All of my work. I take no credit. I'm just the vehicle. And I got it through meditation. Then watch your spending. There's over 160 million obese folks in the United States. Now, every month or year, they're spending $6,500 women, and guys are spending half that amount for literally being unproductive at work. So that's what it's costing them. The statistics behind it, the financial analysts are saying that money that they're spending for being off work, if they were to just use 5% of that $6,000 over a 40-year period, they would have $600,000 in savings. So money and work, they go hand in hand. Remember, my father demonstrated me by running literally around City Park. You know, you got to keep sickness away from you. So whatever you have to do that's healthy, try to practice that. Surround yourself. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite. So this is my family from Ghana. My family from Ghana, please stand up. I needed a family. Please stand up, everybody shy. They're from Ghana. God blessed me with my godson in 2000. Then God blessed me with a daughter-in-law and 2 grandkids. So I have a family. I really do. Because just because my blood family is a little bit different than me, it doesn't mean that you got to create your family. And the family is people that can love you back. Period. That's all I have to say. So surround yourself with healthy, positive relationships. Live your purpose, whatever your purpose is. A 15-year-old young lady from London, she's the one that taught me. She said, my mission is my purpose that my soul defines. Your soul is in your gut. We all were born for a reason and a purpose. Lastly, give back. Give back. Whatever you enjoy doing, you give back. The volunteers, let's give a round of applause to the volunteers. They're giving back. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you. Please volunteer. She's going to help me in the whole program. We're almost done. This is a great volunteer. Then we'll rejoice. Let's say rejoice. Rejoice!
Rejoice!
Oh, I can't hear you.
Rejoice! Rejoice!
Count your blessings every day. You woke up. Your feet are on the ground. I have a cousin. He's 5 years younger than me. They just buried him yesterday. I rejoice. My feet are on the ground. I have my right mind. I'm grateful. So what do? You what?
Rejoice!
Oh, yes, you can. Okay.
No, I'm telling them. I shouldn't be louder than you guys. Only one person.
Okay. Oh, so they can do it.
Rejoice!
Rejoice!
Woo! Y'all gotta be loud. You guys don't be so loud.
Okay, come on. The group, come on. We're almost done. We have 1 minute, so please, you got to get up here. They're going to teach you. Come on.
Come on, all of this.
Oh, yeah, come on. Come on, we have to hurry because we're getting ready to eat right now because we're ending it. We're ending it. Okay, they're going to show you what you got to do. Okay, you tell the team what to do. They're going to teach you. First, they're going to do it, then you repeat what they do.
Rejoice! Rejoice!
Again.
Rejoice! Rejoice!
Okay, that's beautiful. Give yourselves a round of applause. I love it. Now, this is me at 60 when I won 60 and over. This is me when I went on the stage to be judged. I wanted to learn what does it take to build your body. I have bone on bone in my spine. I could be in a wheelchair, but I refused. So what I did, I learned kinesiology, the study of the bone. I learned about muscles. I learned what I could eat. Yes, that's me. Does it look like me? That's me. And that's from 2 years ago. And I have, it's Harlequin publishers. You've heard of Harlequin, the romance. Then Thorndike. I mean, the big, huge, major publishing companies. Think about the rainbow. Think I never saw my dad. I never saw him buried. But think what God created in me, this, to help the world, that you got to take care of yourself at whatever cost. You've got to take care of you. This is where my work is. Those are my books down there. And it's available worldwide in libraries. You can go to the nearest library here and pick up the Caregiver's Companion. Oh, I'm really proud. Stanford, that's local. Stanford's local. That's where my work is. Also, questions. Any questions? We're done. Thank you so much. Oh, she has a question. Thank you. Oh, you got to ask me a question. Yeah. She wants to ask a question. Yeah.
Like, when you go up and you lose weight and you're on a diet, and like how you said that people always say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm going to eat this last piece of cake. That was me.
Hey, you know what? That's a lot of people. That's what people do. Thank you for
I'm not
sharing.
like that no more. I've been losing weight now.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's great. The key thing when you eat for your blood type, and Dr. Amo, he doesn't know me, but his work, his study of eating for your blood type, it really, really, really works. Someone had a question back there.
What is the name of the book that's coming out in May?
It's called, let's go back. It's called Transforming Your Life Through Self-Care, a guide to tapping into your deep beauty and your inner work. So I gave little snippets of what's in the book, but the book it's heavy and it's deep. And if anyone's in a crazy relationship, I share what I had to do for forgiveness of my family, forgiveness of, I was only married for 9 months and I had to leave him only because I loved me more. When someone cheats on you, do you stay? In my case, no. I love me too much. So I talk about that. And I got to tell you, the publishing companies, they love stuff like that. So anyway, it's really, it's a remarkable book. It's blessed. It will be in libraries worldwide, and also Amazon is pre-selling. Yes?
Yeah, if I buy your book, will you sign it today?
I don't have the book.
Oh!
No, but I'll sign it if you send it to me. Or you know what, later, if the book will not be on the market till May 8th. But see, Mary Nicholson is so innovative. She wanted her group to get me before anybody even could see the presentation. Let's give Mary a hand. Any other questions? Any other questions? Oh, yes.
When did you start like getting strong?
First, I had to start mentally getting strong, but I've never had an overweight problem, but I wanted muscle, so it took me about 9 months on that picture to build muscle. Now I just do it all the time. It becomes a part of your life.
Lifestyle.
Thank you. It's just lifestyle. It's lifestyle change. I'm not on a diet. I don't believe in diets, but if you eat the right foods and the right portions and you train and work out for your body type, you will get the desires that you're looking for. So I'm done. Mary's coming to get me off the stage. I'm done. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
I just want you to know, she's Florida to be with us today, and her presentation is with precision. What's the word? Precision. What's that?
Yeah,
word?
okay. Yeah,
It's a tongue twister for me, but I really want you to know that she is so passionate at what she does, and she's going to be with us the rest of the day, so you can ask her questions, and she is like a sister to me, and so I just want you to know how wonderful your presentation was and how great you are. We're not about to eat.
Oh,
We're getting ready to have a wonderful caregiver panel.
oh, okay.
And so I need to bring up our
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, because a large round of applause for Carolyn and Brent. That was an excellent presentation. I personally learned a lot. I hope you guys did as well. A lot of the topics she touched on, especially how your family reacts to you becoming a caregiver, is something I think we all as caregivers have gone through. But I would like to introduce Ms. Jillian Larson. She was an RN for over 38 years, serving as both a professional and family caregiver with determination to follow her dreams. Jillian became the oldest contestant on CBS television show Survivor, participating in Gabon, Central Africa. Jillian uses her motivating talents to bring thousands of people together for the Reality Rally, Inc., a nonprofit she founded to raise funds for the Cancer Resource Center, Michelle's Place in Temecula, California. She was born in South Africa.